Hi guys, it's Bryony, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a requested video, which is my review on the Doona car seat. So I had this in the back of a video I did a couple of weeks ago now actually, on my egg pushchair, with my egg pushchair review, and a couple of people saw it and said, could I do a review on it? And I said, absolutely. I found it quite hard to find really good reviews on this actually when I was looking about whether or not to get it. A lot of them were sort of first impressions or sponsored videos, and it's just hard to get a sense of whether or not it's actually worth the money, particularly because this thing is not cheap. So I've had it now for a few months and I've used it, so I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of what its pros and cons are to it. So I'm going to do the video to you today telling you what I like about it and what I don't like so much. So first of all, the colour I have here is the Doona car seat in June. It's kind of like a sandy khaki colour. I have to admit it's not my favourite. I only got this colour because I bought it in a Black Friday sale. This was the cheapest colour available because I was like on the fence of whether or not to get it, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to bite the bullet and do it because it was on sale. So it was $269 I believe at the time, and it also came with the rain cover and with the essentials bag, which I'll show you in a bit, which clips onto the top here, and actually I think is a really good thing to get. So let me show you how it works. I have it set up here in its car seat mode, and as you can see the wheels are currently tucked away. So the way that you pop this up is there's a button on the back here, grey button here, and then there's a red button inside, and you basically squeeze them and lift up at the same time, and that's how you open it up. So I'm just going to get up here and do it. So push the red button in, pull the grey buttons up, and then lift up, and that's it. To extend the handlebar back into the pushchair mode, you simply press these two grey buttons on the side, it goes back, and then press the button in the middle, and it extends out like this. So the handlebar height is only got two positions. You have this lowest position here, which is where you first rotated it back to this point. Then you press the button and you get up to the highest position here. There are no positions in between. At its highest position, this is fine for me. I'm 5'2". It's quite tall. It's perfectly comfortable to push here. I think if you were any taller than sort of 5'10", then this is going to be quite uncomfortable for you. Because it doesn't come any higher, and it's not the highest bar that you can have. So I think anything sort of lower than that, you're going to be fine. This lower position here could be really great for older siblings of your little one if they want to push it, because it's a really good height for them. And also the pushchair, the Doona isn't really that high, so they can easily see over it if they're pushing, and they're not going to be like looking around like this. So that's another really nice feature of it. This is a really lovely, like, smooth, easy to push. The wheels on the front have got a really good swivel on them, so when you're pushing it along it feels really easy, it glides. You can easily push this one-handed. It feels very lightweight, which is lovely. Obviously has this canopy on the top here, pretty good coverage, not the best but pretty good. And then there's also a brake on the back, so red, push down, obviously stop, and then green to go and to move it around again. Really lovely, strong brake system, doesn't feel flimsy or anything, so that's really great, easy to use and flip-flop friendly. Then to put this back down again, I tend to put the canopy down, press the button on the handlebar here to push this down, simply push this up to the carry cot position, infant car seat position, and again squeeze that same button on the back. And I tend to put my foot down here and like sweep the wheels up, you'll see here, and then it goes down. Now, the first thing I will say about this particular product in its car seat mode is this is heavy. So when you pick this up, like, this is not a lightweight car seat, it's actually pretty heavy. So when I was considering getting this, one of the reasons I actually was looking at the Doona is because my mum has a bad back and she sometimes helps me, you know, with looking after my little ones, and I thought this could be a really good thing for her. However, because it is so heavy, it's not the best for that. I think the better option, if you are looking at this from somebody who's got a bad back and thinking whether it's going to be better for that, I actually think your best bet is to buy a fixed car seat which is in your car, and just carry your little one either on yourself or push them in their regular pushchair to the car and then lift them up and put them into their car seat. That's going to save your back more than something like this. I will still say though that when my mum does look after my current little one, if she has the choice, she will choose the Doona over the Maxi Cozy infant carrier I have. She does prefer this because she can push it to the car, but it's still like, her back is not really severe, so if you had a really severe back problem, that's where I would say this probably isn't the right thing for you because it is heavy. Now, the second thing I really want to mention is when you're looking at the Doona, you need to think of it as a car seat with wheels rather than a pushchair that converts to a car seat. It is primarily its main function is as a car seat. So the seat back, for example, doesn't recline, it's stuck in this position, and for that reason you need to treat this as you would any other car seat, as in not leaving children in it for too long. Now that then reduces its usefulness as a pushchair, in my opinion, because you shouldn't really leave them in this for longer than sort of half an hour, 2 hours in the car max, let's say, and then have a break, but really being left in it, half an hour is enough. So personally, I find that this is really, really great for running like little small errands. So if I'm running to the doctor's just to pick up a prescription or something, and you're literally getting out the car to go do one thing, then coming back and putting them in again, that's where this is really, really good. It's for those short trips where you're just saving that bit of time from having to get the pushchair chassis out the boot and open that up and then put the adapters on and then put the car seat on and go and pick up a prescription, whatever. You come back to the car, do the same thing, push car seat in the car, adapters off, chassis down, all that faff. This is literally out, wheels down, off you go. And that's where this is really, really useful. The other time that I've heard from other people this being really useful is with school runs, when you've got a little one who's small enough to go to the Doona, but you've got an older one who's at school. That's where this can be great too. If you drive to pick up your children, just going in and out the car, that's where I think this can also have a lot of value for you. Funny thing about the Doona is that there's really a lot of cons to it in some ways, because as I said before, like, it's not a proper pushchair. There's no storage space on it whatsoever. You need to add storage onto it if you're going to need some, and you can't fold it down with any storage on it either, so you have to take it off if you're putting it into the car. But I find myself using it more than I thought I would. There's just so many little times that you think, oh, I'll just put them in the Doona, it's just going to make life easier. I'll just do a really quick trip, going to the doctor's, going to, as I said, quickly pick up somewhere, dropping children off with other people. So if you've got family members or something that are looking after them just for the day or something, that's where this is great, because you've got, as I said, your car seat and your pushchair in one. So if they just want to basically take them to a quick walk to the park or something, they've got a pushchair to do that with. If they want to go out, or if they need to quickly jump in the car for something, to go get some shopping, I don't know what they might need to do, you got that too. So that's where this is really, really great. Small trips, like I said before, small trips is the main thing, but certainly for dropping off for other people, it's great. The other scenarios I think this is really beneficial for is if you use a lot of like ride share, so taxis, Ubers, that sort of thing, because you've got your car seat all ready to go and it clips in with a seatbelt or with an ISOFIX. I'd actually have the ISOFIX, I only ever do it with a seatbelt and it's fine for me. But yeah, you can put it in with a seatbelt, and you got your car seat, and then once you arrive at your destination, pop the wheels down, off you go. If you live in a city, fabulous for that. That's where I think this has a really good benefit. And the other scenario I think this is really good for, although we're in COVID right now, so I haven't had a chance to try this out, is traveling. This would have been so handy when my family went to the Peak District back in like September or something, when the cases were really low. We had to like put this really big pushchair in the back of the car, and we only had the boot to pack and kind of work things around it, and we did it, but in hindsight I think if I'd had this, I would have just taken this and it would have been more than fine to sort of push around the shops, and then when we were going on like walks cross country or something, I just had them in a carrier, so that would have been much better for that scenario. But particularly if you're flying, if we ever fly again, this is brilliant, because as I said, you get in your car or in a taxi, it's in your car seat mode. You get to the airport, you open it up, obviously put the handlebar up and everything, ready to go, push through the airport with your little pushchair mode. The other thing I'd recommend if you are using it in the airport is to buy what's known as a snap-on storage. It's basically like a bag that goes on the back here and adds quite a lot of room to put things in. So if you're using it for traveling, I would definitely recommend investing in that. Like I said before, you do have to take it off before you collapse it down, but it does give you some storage space, so I think it's well worth it in that scenario. So you push through the airport, you get to the aeroplane, simply, again, pop the seat down, and this is approved for aeroplane flying, so you can literally clip it in with the seat belt on the aeroplane, and they can sit in here and they have their own seat whilst you relax. Top tip if you are traveling with young children, if you can afford it, pay for the extra seat. It is so worth it to be able to have your own space, not them sitting on your lap the whole time. Have your own seat. It's brilliant, and they often sleep better in their car seats as well. So you've got your car seat for the aeroplane, brilliant. You've got space on your lap, and you might want to have them on your lap to take off anyway. Then you arrive at your destination, get through the airport again, up it goes. Because you took this on the plane with you, you don't need to wait for it to come up from the luggage holder or anything. Off you go, collect your bags, get to the hire car or the taxi or wherever you're taking, back down again into its car seat mode. You don't need to worry about hiring one when you get to the hire car or a taxi. It's all there ready to go. And if you want to travel when you're on your holiday going in and out of taxis, you've also got it too. Of course, once you get to your apartment or wherever you're staying, hotel, whatever, pop it back up again. And off we go again. And of course that can repeat itself for the whole holiday trip. So I think for holidays, this is really, really good. Trying to film this around the little one is not easy. So let's talk accessories. The Doona actually has quite a few accessories that you can buy. I've already mentioned before the snap-on storage that I think is really essential if you are going to be traveling with this a lot. Even though you do have to, it basically hooks on either side here. Even though you do have to take it off when you put this down into its car seat mode, I still think it's worth it because it gives you that extra added storage when you're moving about, because otherwise one of the biggest drawbacks to the Doona is there is absolutely no storage on it anywhere. I mentioned earlier that I have the essentials bag that came with the package that I bought this with also the rain cover. I haven't actually used the rain cover, but I've used this bag quite a lot. Let me just demonstrate to you how this works. So there are two little like knobs either side of this handlebar, and there are these little clips on the actual bag itself, and you basically just clip them on, put this over the handlebar, clip it on, and then clip it on this side too, and that stops this slipping down, keeps it very secure, out of baby's way. And then you still have access while you're pushing this to all these pockets here, which is really handy. It's got really good size pockets on the front, really big storage area inside, and a little changing mat as well. Two pockets on the sides that you can easily fit a bottle in. I tend to put one bottle for baby and a drink for me when I'm using it. And then also has an extra pocket on the back here, which I tend to put like a Kindle or an iPad in. So really good size for that. I'm always amazed how much I can actually get in here. It's definitely an essentials bag, but you can fit a surprising amount on this. So very good for those trips where you're just popping out for an appointment or something and you don't think you're going to be very long. They also have another bag that can clip on the back here, which is the all-day version of that bag, which is even bigger, as the name might suggest. But they have things as well like sunshades, insect nets, I mentioned earlier, rain covers, a few other bits too, so it's well worth having a look. That's what makes it such a good travel system, I think, for when you are going abroad with a baby, because if you're going somewhere hot, for example, I definitely would recommend getting the extended sunshade. But it just feels like it adjusts for so many different things there, and that's where this really has its most use, I think. In terms of capacity, this will last from around newborn. It comes with a newborn insert as well, which I haven't got here. It's tucked away somewhere, I can't find it. But it does have a newborn insert, and it goes up to 13 kilos, which is roughly 12 to 15 months, depending on the size of your child. So it's a lot of money for something you're only really going to be able to use for a year, but if you get a lot of use out of it, then I do think it is worth it. And I guess that really leads me on to my final verdict of would I actually recommend the Doona? I have to say yes, but only for certain lifestyles. I'd say if you're somebody who lives in the country, somewhere where there aren't smooth pathways, or like you haven't got any suburban area near you, you're just not going to get the use out of the Doona that you could do, because the wheels are too small to handle any sort of rough terrain. Really, this thing can only be pushed on smooth surfaces, so that's why I'd say you only want to be looking at this if you're a city liver, if you live in the like a suburban area that's still very well paved, or if you do live in the countryside, you must be somebody that travels a lot and could really use this through the airports and when you're abroad and stuff. That's where I think this is really, as I said before, at its most useful. Some improvements that I do hope Doona will make. One, I would love to see a way for them to be able to have the seat recline back. There are now infant car seats that can lie flat when they've got a baby in them to allow the spine to be in a better position, not when they're in the car, but when they're out and they're sitting on top of a buggy or something. So I think it'd be really cool if Doona could work on that. The other thing is, as I said before, under here, when you have it in its pushchair mode, there's absolutely no storage, and I wonder if they could maybe find a way to put a little basket or something just down here, even if it's just like a little mesh basket in some way, so you could just pop a few little things under it. I just think that would help to add more use to it. As I said, there is the snap-on storage that can go on the back here, but you have to remove that when you put the wheels down. So something maybe under here as a way to have a small bit of storage could be really useful. And of course, if there was a way to make it lighter but still maintain the safety of it, then that'd be great too, because like I said, this is pretty darn heavy to lift like this. Although, like I said before, if you are reasonably strong, the benefit of being able to push into the car means you only have to lift it for very short periods of time rather than carrying the car seat from A to B all the time. So that's where it really has some great use to it. And of course, I think it looks awesome. When people see you getting out of the car, they often like do a double take and they think that's amazing. People do really love the look of this. There's that quite nice feeling of being able to kind of show off a bit with it, I guess. So yes, I really do hope this review has been helpful to you in making a decision about whether or not the Doona is worth investing in for you. If I have missed anything out, please do let me know in the comments below and I'll try and get back to you. I think I've covered everything that's really necessary for this video, but do let me know. Oh, one last thing, it is completely machine washable as well, by the way. You just need to basically unhook all the fabric from around here and then you can take it out, but it is totally washable, so just bear that in mind too. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do please subscribe and let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you've got any other sort of pushchairs or other baby equipment you'd like me to review, let me know in the comments below and I will see what I can do. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.